Hi there, my name is Amy Hollinger and I'm the Director of Professional Development for Global Online Academy. It's my pleasure to welcome you to your Global Online Academy Professional Development course. In this introductory video, we're going to cover three things. First, we'll look at the current landscape of online learning. Next, we're going to look at the course expectations, both as a participant and as a teacher. And finally, we're going to look at your course and how to navigate it to let you get the most successful experience possible out of the course. I'm really happy you're here, and during this video, it will be my job to give you tips and tricks for getting the most out of your professional development experience. Ready to get started? Let's go!
The first thing I want to talk about in our video is really what the landscape of online learning looks like currently. It's a pretty nimble environment and things change quickly, so it's important as you're coming into an online learning experience to kind of understand what online learning experiences look like. There are many different ways to engage in both student online courses as well as your own online professional development. And I'm going to talk about some of those and kind of contrast GOA's way of teaching and learning. The first one I want to talk about is called a MOOC, which is a massively online open course. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's online, it's massive, they have thousands of participants in them. One of the most popular companies right now is called Coursera, and it has leading universities and colleges from around the world that put their courses up for free. You can also choose to pay for a certification through one of those. So those tend to be very popular and they definitely serve their time and place. I myself have taken some MOOCs, and it just depends on what you're hoping to gain out of the learning experience, because it's a very one-sided learning experience where information is given to you. The second type of online learning that's really out there and prevalent right now are things called diploma granting schools. So these are ones where students can go online, such as Stanford High School, and they actually take the courses that would be very similar if they were in a brick and mortar environment, and they do it in an online environment, and they receive a diploma at the end. One of the other providers of this is called K-12. They also are an online public school and an online private school that does grant a diploma when the students reach the end of their coursework. GOA professional development and GOA student learning is different in several ways. One of the ways that it's different is that we have taken leading independent schools throughout the world and really looked at what their values are, what best practices are, and tried to think about ways in which these translate well into the online learning environment. Our courses are very small and very personalized. You'll find that as you're going through this OLE 1 experience that you will get to know the other participants very well as you participate in the discussions and other things. We also iterate all of our courses based on previous experiences of participants, so you'll be asked to give feedback at the end of the course and throughout the course that will help us iterate. Our student courses are also created and designed with a lot of support from GOA staff, but really ultimately they're created and designed by the independent school teachers in our member schools. So I would say that the difference between us and some of these other opportunities is that it's more personalized, the relationship piece is highly emphasized in our model, and that we are continually iterating our courses to make them the best they can be. However, I do want you to know that there is a time and place for all sorts of online learning. As I mentioned earlier, I have taken a MOOC before when I just wanted to get some information and get it quickly and not have to engage in as much of a collaborative experience as the global online classes. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. Next, I'm going to talk to you about general course expectations. The next thing I would like to talk to you about really are the expectations for both the instructor and the participants of OLE 1 or any GOA PD experience. The first expectation is communication. We try, since this is a fast-paced course, to communicate often and communicate quickly with participants, and we expect the same courtesy. As a general rule of thumb, you'll probably receive an answer to your email within 24 hours from either your instructor, or sometimes it may come from me, it may come from one of our instructional designers, and we ask you to try to, for the next 2 weeks, do that very same thing. Here's my first tip. I know Jamie put this in her welcome email, but if you have not scheduled 20 to 30 minutes in your daily planner or your calendar yet for this course for the next 2 weeks, you need to do so now. This is a fast-paced course, and it's very much reliant on active participation, which we'll discuss in a minute. Our second expectation is respect. Respect is obviously just a good practice, but really why we talk about it being an expectation in the online environment is because when you have less visual contact and you're not sitting in close proximity to somebody, oftentimes the way you read your email in your head and the way it comes across might be different, or your discussion post might be different. So really try to think about how to communicate respectfully, especially in writing in the online learning environment. The third expectation we have is open-mindedness. This course is about exploring vast and uncharted terrain. We don't have all the answers. GOA has learned a lot in the last couple of years on best practice in online learning. But as I mentioned previously, the online learning environment is a very nimble and dynamic environment. So we are in this together and we're learning together. We will certainly be guiding you with the best practices that we have learned, but we also feel like this is a very collaborative learning experience and that we should be learning from you as well. And finally, our last expectation, by far, if there was one that you need to pay attention to, it's this one: participation. We say it takes about 4 to 6 hours a week to successfully complete this course. But the reason why I think this is the most important one of our expectations is because this course is highly reliant on you participating, being actively involved, engaging with the content, engaging with the other participants, and engaging with your instructor. It really is what makes the courses more vibrant and dynamic is when people participate. And so I would encourage you every single day to go into the discussion forum, post something, even if it's a new thread, comment on somebody's post, make sure that you are an active participant in the OLE community. Those are expectations. And next, we are going to talk a little bit about how to navigate the course so you can successfully work your way through the course. The final thing I'm going to speak to you about in this introductory video is on how to navigate the course page successfully. Once you learn how to navigate the course page successfully, you'll be able to complete the learning tasks that we set forth much easier. The best way to think about this page, your Haiku page, which is our learning management system, is really to think about it from going from left to right, from top to bottom. So looking over here on the left, you will see that these are all the different lessons that we have for you in OLE 1. You can click on any of them at any time and see them as long as they are published, which means this orange light is on. We published the welcome page early Thursday morning, and then we've published lesson 1. You'll have lessons 2 and 3 published next week for you. As you're moving across the page, you're going to see several things. You'll see an introductory video here, which is the first thing that you generally watch for each lesson. You also might see something to sign up for a Google Hangout, or how you might use a Google Hangout, because that's something we do quite often in the courses. And then you will see the open forum for discussion. This is a really important place for you to pay attention to, because the open forum for discussion is where you will go to engage in discussions with your classmates. So this is an example of a discussion that a previous section of OLE 1 was having, and you can see that people are having discussions back and forth and participating in the online community. This is a place that you should try to visit every day and participate in. So once you've gone from left to right, you can start to go from top to bottom and look at what exactly the lesson's asking you to do. Every lesson or every task has a number 1 and a letter associated with A, and they will give you a suggested pace or a due date for when you should try to have that completed by. So watching the introductory lesson video for this last group of OLE participants, they needed to have that done by the 16th of January. As you scroll down, you'll see different things. This is a schedule of Google Hangouts that Jamie had provided for her past participants. There are always some sort of success tips, and this one probably is put it in your calendar for 30 minutes. You're going to get tired of hearing us stress that, but we really have found that participants that get the most out of this course are the ones that take it seriously and put it into their daily schedule, because I know we are all extremely busy. This, you will also see every single lesson will have a Gantt chart associated with it. And what I love about this is it's a simple visual of when you should be completing your assignments and when you're expected to be meeting and doing things. And so it's a really nice visual that will help you know what to do. And every lesson has goals and different things that you're doing. So as you work your way down, you'll see different assignments and readings and things to do. So again, really it's not that complicated, but it's really important that you pay attention to going from left to right, clicking on whatever lesson it is you're meaning to work on, and then you're participating in the discussion forum and then scrolling down to find your assignments.
Hi there, it's nice to see you again. I have one last tip to give you as you are about to embark on this course. My tip is this: make it a little bit personal. It's okay for you to drop a little bit of that professional role that we all play on our campuses and show us who you really are maybe when you go home. That's one of the reasons you'll notice in a lot of the videos I often have one of my dogs, because that's not necessarily the most professional thing to do, but it's really who I am. I grew up on a farm and I love animals, and I still have quite a few animals, even living here in the city of Seattle. So, my final tip to you is don't forget about building that relationship piece by letting us kind of see who you are beyond who you are professionally. Well, that's it. That's everything you need to know to have a successful experience in your Global Online Academy professional development course. Please feel free along the way to reach out to me if you have any questions or need any assistance with anything, as well as your teacher, Jamie. She's excellent, and both of us are right at your fingertips. I'm excited again to welcome you to this course, and I know you're going to have a great experience. Have fun learning with each other.